everybody, how are you doing today? I'm doing pretty good. I'm still a little bit under the weather, as you'll be able to hear from my voice, but I'm okay, don't worry. So today I am going to do a Hobonichi flip. So this is the latter half of 2022. As you can see, it's absolutely jam-packed full of stuff. Like, it doesn't even stay closed anymore, which is kind of a regular thing. If you have a Hobonichi like this and you tend to stick things in there, then you will be familiar with how it ends up looking at the end of the year. As you can see, it opens like this, which is, I think, why Hobonichi made the this journal into half a year. So as you can see, it's from July to December. So first of all, I'm going to take it out of its little case, and like this. So first of all, I always get lots of questions about this cover that I use. So this was actually plain when I bought it. It didn't have any of these patches on. These are all my own patches, things that I've picked up from various places. I think most of them are from Daiso or Seria in Japan, the 100 yen stores. And then this one was from like a really cute little store in like an oldie kind of town in Japan. I don't know. I know where it is exactly. So if you live in Japan, you want to know, I can point you in the rightish direction, but I don't know the name of the store, so I'd have to actually go onto Google Maps and find it. But yeah, that little set was from there. And then it also has this really adorable cat bookmark, which I love, because this is actually a book cover. So in Japan, maybe other places in the world, but they don't really do this in England, but in Japan they usually cover their books that they're reading, so that to give themselves privacy on the trains and on the public transport. So that's what this is. It's supposed to cover your book that you're reading. The books as well, some of them tend to be, the reading books, a little bit smaller, which is why it's this little perfect size. And I bought it from a local bookstore, so I can leave the artist's name and hopefully you'll be able to find it if you want to. But I don't know if you can buy it online or anything like that. It was just from a little local bookstore where I lived. Anyway, enough about the cover. I always get questions about it, so I thought I'd say that first, but I really, really love it. And actually, I think sorry about the shaking. I think my sketchbook will fit in here, my MD notebook, because it's also A6. Ooh, yeah. So I can still use it this year, which I think I probably will do. This is just my little sketchbook. So there we go. Doesn't go to waste. So I just had a little coffee and fit off camera, and my voice has gone really weird now, so I do apologize if that annoys you. Anyway, we're gonna do a little flip through. So yes, this is the latter half of the year, so the cover is this lovely blue color, and I found this adorable sticker which this blue matched perfectly, so I stuck that on there. And then I also have the plastic cover on as well, which is to just protect it from getting any dirt on there. So yeah, here we go. This was the first page I decorated. Just make sure I'm in the middle of the frame. If there's any strange cuts in there, you'll know why. It's because I'm coughing. So I tend not to use this first part of the pages. Nothing too interesting there. And then on the first half of the year, I like to put my New Year's resolutions on here, but like, as you can see, I don't have them on this one either. And I'd just like to point out as well that the majority of this journal this time is not really filled out very well. It's kind of, I usually do take a very messy approach, as you can see. Like, I like to jot things down really quickly and not have too much thought really goes into it. I just kind of want to get down the memory or whatever the thing happened. Or if I have something I just want to sketch really quickly, I'll do that. Or it's a little place where I can stick little messages and things like that. So I don't really take too much care when I'm planning the pages. I think if I'm filming them, I always take a little bit more care. I'm just going to check you're still in frame. Yes, you are. Yeah, if I'm filming it, I tend to take a little bit more care. Like this was a page that I filmed. So, but then, yeah, so if, I don't know, it's kind of hard to explain, but basically it was not that hard. I'll just explain it. But at the end of July, we moved from Japan, and I know I mention this a lot, so if you've watched my videos a lot, I'm sorry that I keep mentioning this, but I think it's important for this particular video. So at the end of July, I moved from Japan, and there was just a lot of preparation involved, like the very last month that we left, and there was just so much to do. And we also went on a little holiday just before we left as well, and that took a lot of planning and preparation as well. And yeah, so and then when we got home as well, there was just so much to do and so much to sort out, and I didn't really have any spare time, let's say, or any time to like visit places. I think where I lived in Japan, like we often had the weekends just completely free, and there wasn't a whole lot to do. Like we lived in such a remote little village, so we always went off and found something to do, or something, I don't know, something new to experience, something new to eat, or whatever. So there was always something to write about. But I found when I got home, it was kind of, nothing was new to me in a way. Like it was just my regular life that I'm kind of used to, that I've been used to for a long time. So whereas in Japan, I might try a new food, and that would be worth like a whole journal page to write about this new thing that I ate. But here it was like, well, I'm just drinking tea like I normally would, and just like having regular days. So I found that I didn't actually have that much to journal about. So you'll notice that a lot of these pages are kind of just things like this, grandma's shopping list, and just like little just days with my family, which is lovely. Obviously I didn't get to see them for a very long time due to like travel restrictions, so it's obviously still very special to me, but I didn't have as much time as I usually had in Japan, let's say, especially in the evenings. I used to have so much time in the evenings because it was just me and my husband, and everyone we knew lived like quite far away from us, so it was just kind of us in this little house. So that's why I started drawing again, was because I had all this spare time, and I just needed a hobby. So but moving back here, there's just so many people around, and there's always something to do, or someone's going somewhere in the evening, and oh, do you want to come, or oh, do you want to come out for food, or whatever the case. So I ended up not having much time to actually sit down and do this. So a lot of this, of what's left of my journal here, I actually filled out recently. Like I sat down and took a day or so. Also, I really like this idea. I'll get back to that thought. But this was a sticker sheet that I had, and I peeled off the back of the sticker and I doodled in all the spaces, and I actually really like some of the doodles, especially this one. It's really funny. Anyway, yeah, so I found that I didn't have a whole lot of time as much, so I ended up filling out a lot of these pages after the fact, which is not kind of the point in the journal for me. For me, I really like to I broke my mug. I really like journaling as I go. The thought of having pages and pages and pages of journaling to catch up on really fills me with kind of dread. And I like drawing, obviously. I love doing all this kind of thing, but you can see here this page is a bit rushed, and then I'm not going to read, like, this one isn't rushed. this one is rushed. So I'm not gonna really look at those pages as much if they're rushed. So yeah, I don't know, it kind of defeats the point for me. But I understand that's also okay. Like, I used to do a week at a time. If I was really busy, I'd go back and do a week at a time, which wasn't that many pages. Like, but to go back and have like half of this journal empty was really daunting for me. So I have decided next year not to have a Hobonichi. I think I will really, really miss it, because I loved using the Hobonichi weeks. And obviously I love this one as well. But just with the amount of time I have at the moment, and I really, really want to focus on producing like products, like tangible things that people can have. I really want to focus on that. So I'm still going to have my little sketchbook that you saw, and I'm going to take that around with me to draw and everything. So I'm always going to be drawing. And I also have a few books that I could actually do some journal pages in there, that kind of like empty pages that I could fill with journal pages. So I'm going to use those books instead of buying like a new one. And I also have my traveler's notebook, which I'm going to use for my like to-do lists and everyday kind of journaling and things. So yes, that was the longest explanation in history, but here you go. The only thing I'm not sure about is I'm not sure where to stick all these things that I have, all these little like note cards, and I don't know, just things that people have written me, or little stamps and things that I've got, like stuff like this. Like, where am I going to stick that? So I have to have a little bit of a think about that. I have thought, because I have started doing like mini journals for trips in my smaller passport size traveler's notebook, I have thought about doing that, just kind of sticking them in there as I go, as I'm using my traveler's notebook this year. So yeah, but I do think I'll really miss my Hobonichi. I love the pages. I love how small and compact it is. I love like just taking it around with me, and if I go out, I'll tend to like draw a few things in there. I miss things like this. I think I will. Like, so today we made a pie. It's so simple, but I always will remember that. That's like the first day that I made this kind of pie, and how it tasted and everything. And so it's the simple things like that in life that I think I'll miss journaling about. Eat your fruit. Obviously wasn't eating a lot of fruit that month. But then, like I said, all those blank pages, which they just get on top of me a little bit. Like this one I did today, like I wanted to test out some paints, but it doesn't really have any special memory for me. So those pages are not so important. Whereas like this one with all my family memories on is really important to me. But yeah, so I've used the Hobonichi for 2 years now, and I still have my 5-year journal, which is honestly incredible to look back on. I am on my 3rd year now of that, and I can't believe it. I'm really surprised. I can't believe it's already year 3 of using my 5-year. But I'm really enjoying that, and it is kind of astonishing to look back on the same day like 3 years ago. It's really strange, but I do really like it, and it's interesting to have that layout, like year 1, year 2, year 3, 4, 5, it goes up to 5. But yeah, let me know if you have a Hobonichi 5-year, because like just doing 2 years was interesting enough, but having the 3rd year is really interesting, and it really shows me how much I've changed in that time, even just in my headspace, like how I think and stuff is kind of changed as well. So yeah, it's really interesting. I have a lot of pages like this, like doodle pages. But it's good for ideas, I think, as well. The Hobonichi, I can just scribble down like little doodles like this. Oh, it's an interesting texture. It's kind of matte. And I got a lot of cards sent me as well, which was so lovely to receive, like lots of Christmas cards. So I've got all the stamps and things in here, which is really nice. Here's like a Japanese stamp. Isn't that beautiful? I love that. So yeah, I'm gonna have to find somewhere to stick like these kind of things. I'm thinking of just getting like a journal, kind of like my big Luca journal, my Golden Book journal, which just has loads of like junky stuff in there. I'm thinking of doing that, and making another one of those, because that is it's probably my favorite journal actually. This is really soft to touch. That's nice. Oh, and that's it. And I just wrote on the last page. So yeah, that's it. And then in the last few pages, honestly, I never write anything. Occasionally I start a list, because they have these lists, my 100, but I never get through 100 things in half a year. This seems like so much. I wish it had like my 50 instead of my 100, because I don't think I watch 100 movies in a year. So having this for just 6 months, it seems a lot. And I can't think of anything else to put here. Like, what do you do 100 of in a year? Like, I just can't think. And like new things as well. And it could just be like a list of 100 things you want to do or see or watch, or I don't know. I don't know. If you have a Hobonichi, let me know what you do with this space, because that has always like baffled me. Because you also have this, which is for movie and books and music and all that kind of thing, but I just never use it. I've tried to do like 100 things I want to do in the year, but I just never used it, and I only got about this many things. So yeah, let me know about that. And then there's some more information in the back here, stretching and all sorts of different things. But yeah, that's it. I do have 2 little postcards that my friend wrote us that I keep in here, one for me and one for Jack. So I'll take those out and put them in my memory box. But yeah, that is it. Look at this. Oh my goodness, it's so amazing. There is a sense of accomplishment when you finish one of these, it's for sure. And I will miss it. I don't have one this year, as I said, but we'll see. I might get one at the end of the year, or maybe even get half one. Who knows? Let's see how much I miss it. But I have been sketching in here in this little book, and let me find a page that is kind of interesting. Maybe this one. Yeah, I have been sketching in here as well, which I've really, really enjoyed. So I'll probably just keep sketching in that. And then I also have, these are my other books. I'll just show you quickly before we end the video. I have my sketchbook now. I have my Hobonichi 5-year, which is in this really beautiful cover. And I have had this cover from the beginning. So I've had this is the 3rd year I've had it now, and it still looks really lovely. I'm really happy with the way it's looking. I kind of like that it's getting that kind of fluffy texture. And then yeah, I have my traveler's notebook, and I also have my small traveler's notebook. Actually, I have to do a journal update. I'll do that in a month or so. I'll do a journal update, and then you can see everything. So let me just take these away. But yeah, I'll have to let you know how I get on with that, how I feel about not having a Hobonichi. It was really, really, really good for my time in Japan. There was just so many new experiences I had, and so many thoughts and ideas, and just so many things I wanted to draw. So it was really good for me to have while I was in Japan. But now I'm back home in the UK, and life is kind of normal for me. It's kind of like I'm not as excited to go to the shops anymore, etc. So there's not as much to journal about. But yeah, I have enjoyed it as always. But yeah, that's it. So I hope you enjoyed this video, a long chatty one. I'd say for a change, but I'm always talking loads, so it's not really a change. But anyway, yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I will see you again next Sunday with a brand new video, and let me know in the comments what journal you're using this year as well. This is glue, by the way. It looks like a bogey, but it's glue. It's just move that out of the way. So yeah, I'll see you next week. Have a great week, everybody. Bye.